Imagine walking through a European city where grand palaces glow beside the Danube. Thermal baths feel like royal retreats, and dinner can turn into an unforgettable night of music, wine, and candlelight. This is Hungary, but there's a side of Hungary that many travelers completely miss. Because beyond Budapest's famous landmarks lies a country filled with elegance, hidden treasures, extraordinary food, and experiences that feel surprisingly luxurious without always carrying a luxury price tag. And stay until the end, because I'll show you one Hungarian experience that might completely change the way you see this country. Let's start in Budapest. The first thing you notice is the architecture. The city feels like a movie set grand buildings, ornate bridges, historic cafes, and the Danube flowing right through the middle. On one side, you have Buda Castle sitting above the city. On the other, Pest stretches out with its elegant boulevards, restaurants, cafes, and nightlife. And then there's the Hungarian Parliament building. Honestly, seeing it from across the Danube, especially around sunset, is one of those moments where you understand why Budapest is sometimes called one of Europe's most beautiful cities. But here's where the glamour gets interesting. Hungary's luxury isn't only about expensive hotels or designer shopping, it's about atmosphere, a beautiful cafe, a long dinner, a glass of Hungarian wine, a thermal bath after a day of exploring. And speaking of thermal baths, wait until you see what makes them so special. Hungary is famous for its thermal waters, and Budapest has turned bathing into something much more than simply taking a swim. Picture yourself surrounded by beautiful historic architecture, relaxing in warm mineral-rich water while steam rises around you. It feels less like visiting a swimming pool and more like stepping into another era. The famous Széchenyi thermal bath is one of the city's signature experiences, with its grand yellow buildings and outdoor pools. And this is something I love about Hungary. You don't necessarily need to spend a fortune to experience something that feels incredibly luxurious. But the glamour doesn't stop with Budapest. Because if you travel beyond the capital, Hungary reveals an entirely different side of itself. Head west and you'll find Lake Balaton, often called the Hungarian Sea. In summer, the atmosphere changes completely. You have lakeside restaurants, vineyards, sailing, charming towns, and beautiful sunsets over the water. And surrounding the lake are wine regions where you can slow down, enjoy local wines, and experience a much quieter kind of luxury. No rushing, no crowded schedule, just good food, beautiful scenery, and time to enjoy the moment. But there's another destination that takes Hungarian elegance to a completely different level, and this is the part many first-time visitors don't know about. Hungary is home to beautiful historic castles, manor houses, and countryside estates. One of the most fascinating is the Festetics Palace in Keszthely, near Lake Balaton. Walking through a place like this gives you a glimpse into the aristocratic world that shaped Hungary's history. And then there's Hungarian wine. You might already know famous European wine regions in France or Italy, but Hungary has its own fascinating wine culture. Tokaj, for example, is internationally famous for its sweet Tokaji wines. And imagine ending a day of exploring with a traditional Hungarian dinner, a glass of local wine, and a view across the countryside. That's a different kind of glamour. It's elegant, but it doesn't have to feel pretentious. And now let's talk about something that might be the biggest surprise of all: Hungarian food. Hungarian cuisine is rich, comforting, and full of personality. You have goulash, paprika-seasoned dishes, crispy schnitzel-like specialties, hearty stews, pastries, and desserts that deserve much more attention. And don't underestimate Hungarian paprika. It's one of the ingredients that gives Hungarian cuisine its distinctive character. But for me, the real magic is sitting down for a long meal. Because food in Hungary isn't simply fuel between sightseeing stops, it can be the experience. You sit down, order something local, pour a glass of wine, talk, laugh, and suddenly 2 hours have disappeared. And that brings us to the real secret behind the glamour of Hungary. The glamour of Hungary isn't just the castles, the beautiful buildings, the thermal baths, or the wine. It's the combination. History and modern life, luxury and affordability, grand architecture and simple pleasures. And perhaps that's why Hungary feels so special. You can experience something genuinely elegant without feeling like you have to spend your entire fortune. So, if Hungary has just moved higher up your travel list, subscribe to the channel, because our next adventure is going even deeper into Europe's hidden gems. And don't forget to watch the next video. You might discover a destination you've never even considered visiting. Business opportunity on description.